Good evening, everybody. This is Lindy. Oh, it's my bad jacket. It's cold. Anyway, I want to do some shout-outs first, and then I'll answer some questions second. But my first shout-outs are for the Super Thanks, which is Dodge City Van Life, VASHTI is the next person, Claire, Abe, Ruby Slippers, Digi, Not, Gabriel, I Like Your Guts, Lady Debbie, and that's it for Super Thanks. And some people use the Cash App, and I want to do two shout-outs for Stephen. Stephen, this is the second month you've given me Cash App. Use the Cash App, and I really appreciate your generosity. I can't even say the word. But I have Sheridan and Stephen, Roland, Justine, Cindy, Yvonne, Tammy, and Yvette. Thank you so much for supporting me through Cash App. I appreciate all the support I get. I appreciate all the likes, all the views. Everything helps me. And I really, really appreciate it, and I want all of you to know that. The next shout-out is going to be on my members, and I'm getting that together, but I wanted to do this first. So, there were a few questions I thought I would answer, and one of them being, what kind of tools would I suggest you carry? A screwdriver. I have all the tools, but I work on my van. If you're living in a car, then what do you need? A screwdriver, I mean, just simple little home tools, hand tools. I have a full set of power tools that are run battery operated because I'm always doing something. I'm cutting something. I have a saw. I have a vacuum, which you should have. You should have a vacuum because I must vacuum 6 times a day or sweep or do something. I have several vacuums, a tiny vacuum and a big vacuum. And one's USB and the other one is battery operated. I have drills, I have saws, I have, you name it, I got it. And I carry it with me. The other thing I carry with me is you guys need to remember to carry some antifreeze and some oil, just in case. You never know. You never know. Antifreeze and oil. You should have at least a gallon of each one, if not more, in any vehicle you carry. And a tire inflator, which I still have to get. I need one. I also carry a battery charger, a solar battery charger that I keep charged up 100%. And if my battery goes dead, I can charge it right away. Just a little handheld solar battery charger. It's fabulous, So, I mean, those are tools, I guess you would call them, tools of the trade. When you're traveling, you need to make sure, you've got some extra brake fluid. I mean, just little things. You got to be careful. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not kidding you. Never know what's going to happen. But tools, screwdriver. That's all I can tell you. If you're in a car, if you're in a van and you're doing work on the van, you're making shelves, you're doing this, you're doing that, then you need other things. But not much. You don't need a big old saw like I got. I thought I was going to travel and I'd have to chop down trees. No. Can you see me doing that? I don't think so. No, I might break a nail. Anyway, oh my goodness. So I did do the tools. And parking. I guess parking is really, really important to everybody. If you're out in the wilderness, it doesn't really matter, does it? You're on BLM land and you follow the rules. But in town is kind of different. Many people say stay at hospitals, stay at hotels, in parking lots. But they all have signs, that say that you'd be towed. I hate that the 2 o'clock in the morning knock on the door. I really, really despise it, okay? And I went through that 2011 and 2013. The cops hassled me once a month, 2 o'clock in the morning. They're knocking on my door. And they know I have written permission to be there, but by golly, they were going to hassle me every single night. Not every single night, every single month. So I don't do that. I like streets in neighborhoods where there is housing. And normally, so far, I've been very lucky. I have found streets like my one of my favorite streets that I stay on most of the time is a street with a field on one side of me, and the other side is businesses. And it's a very nice area, and I just like it, you know. And I can open my door in the summer or in the winter, and it's facing a field, so I feel as safe as you can feel anywhere. I don't ever feel safe anywhere, you know. Not a house, not a plane, not a train, nothing, you know. So the other place is in the neighborhood, and I like to park beside parks. And so far, I've been lucky again, and I've parked in a neighborhood where one side of the street is housing, and the other side of the street is a city park. And if someone's visiting you, this is the thing: if someone's visiting you, they're not going to leave at 4 or 5 in the morning. You know, everybody goes, oh, leave at 4. No, I leave at 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock, whenever I want. I don't care if it's 5 in the morning. Why do they care if I leave? I do get there late, you know, after work and park. And I do make it sure that I go to my parking when it's dark and it's later. And I'll park during the day, maybe in the park and I do park in Walmart's parking lot during the day, never at night. Never at night. I don't ever feel safe there. Target's the same way. I don't ever feel safe there, but there's all kinds of parking lots and parks, city parks you can go to and be there all day. I would not spend the night in a city park. I have been told by the police I could. And the neighborhood surrounds this city park, and I said no, because I felt like the neighborhood would call on me. So I have a bruise. Anyway, so I park that way. Where else do I park? That's mainly where I park on the street. I park on the street. Sometimes it'll be a main street in the neighborhood, and the houses will all have fencing, and I'm on the other side of the fence on the main street. And I just haven't had a problem. And I leave whenever I want. I don't go by this leave early in the morning. If somebody's visiting you and they're spending the night, unless they're leaving to go somewhere for a trip, they're not going to leave at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody complains about me sitting there. I've never had anybody say, oh, you know, what are you doing here? No, I haven't. So the other thing is, my first summer, there was a young kid behind me in a car, and he was living in his car. And he was a student. And I talked to him. And this is real sneaky. And I did it once, and then I decided I wasn't comfortable with it. But inside these, I don't want to say hotels, apartment complexes, there are so many unnumbered spots that don't belong to apartments. You can go in there and park all night long. And I've done it. And he told me where they all were, you know, because that's where he goes. And so many spots inside the apartment complex are not assigned to a specific apartment. And if you find one that's blank with no number on it, you can stay there. I did it once, and of course, this is a student area, and they kept me up all night long, coming and going and drinking and partying and laughing and cutting up, and I think it was on a weekend, and I went, oh my goodness. So I haven't done it again. So there are things that you can do, but again, I mainly stay on the street. I just prefer it. I feel more comfortable with it. I can take off as soon as I want. So I'm going to end that because this is getting really long. And I wanted to tell you about the parking. So you have a great day. I'll talk to you next time. And please hit the subscribe button and the like. And you already know about membership and all that other stuff. I put it in the description. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.